Our starting field in tonight's 41 lap. We're going to pull them on the front stretch. Drivers will climb from their mounts here on the front stretch, and we'll introduce them to you great race fans here this evening. 41 laps of late model action getting ready to storm out trackside. Congratulations, Derek Hinson, victory number 3 of the season.
All right, race fans, your Lucas Oil MLRA late model is going to roll out onto the speedway. Going to do some out-of-car introductions tonight for tonight's starting lineup. Before we start tonight's Lucas Oil Racing TV 41 Lap A main event, $5,000 on the line for tonight's feature winner. Will Vaught picked up the win last night, cashed in on $3,000, and he will look to go back-to-back here tonight. Drivers and crews making their way out onto the front straightaway here at the 1/3 mile Lake Ozark Speedway. As we take a few moments, thanks to more great sponsors helping bring tonight's Lucas Oil Racing action to the Speedway, including DirtOnDirt.com. You can catch all tonight's highlights following the racing action on DirtOnDirt.com, as well as Hooker Harness, Lucas Oil Products, Midwest Sheet Metal, Mittler Brothers Machine, Impact Signs, Awnings and Wraps, Fast Track Photos, as well as Allgaier Racing Shacks. All right, drivers going to climb from the cars, and we will work our way from the 20th starting position all the way to tonight's DirtOnDirt.com pole position.
So ladies, pay attention to the eye candy.
I can hear you all.
All right, we're going to start back outside of row number 10. From right here in Lake Ozark, Missouri, driving an XR1 Rocket chassis. Let's hear for the 21 of Joey Stark. Lined up to the inside of row number 10 out of Jefferson City, Missouri, in a GRT chassis, the Millard Family Chapel entry of Reed Millard. To the outside of row number 9 out of Griswold, Iowa, driving the Black Diamond chassis, 1 MLRA feature win under his belt. That's the 4W of J.C. Wyman. Inside of row number 9, out of Quincy, Illinois, the Victory Medal sponsored entry, the 5B, it's going to be Mark Bergtorf. To the inside of, the outside of row number 8, last night's 4th place finisher, the driving the True Value number 43, out of Story City, Iowa, Jeremy Grady. Inside of row number 8, out of Quincy, Illinois, an XR1 Rocket chassis, the 33F, it's going to be Ricky Franco. To the outside of row number 7, Drive to the homes by Roth. Number 14R, an XR1 rocket out of Bentonville, Arkansas, Jeff Roth. To his inside of row number 7, driving the Adams Construction XR1 rocket out of West Plains, Missouri, it's Logan Martin. Moving back to the outside, this time of row number 6, driving the Midwest Sheet Metal TNT chassis out of Aurora, Missouri, Cole Wells. Down to the inside of row 6, out of Brosley, Missouri, driving the Oberkramer Trucking XR1 rocket, the 93, it's Mason Oberkramer. Rolling to the outside of row number 5. Your current Lucas Oil MLRA Series point leader, driving the Levy Trucking Brinkman Motorsports entry out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, Chad Simpson. Inside row number 5, driving the 2J out of Eugene, Missouri. It's a Pierce chassis. Let's hear it for Jason Russell. Outside of row number 4, out of Ashland, Illinois. Driving a Ford Pro Power Racing engine with a Longhorn chassis, it's going to be the 15V of Colby Vandenberg. And to his inside, the driver out of Lebanon, Missouri, rolling into tonight's action, second in the MLRA point standings, a Longhorn chassis, the 56 of Tony Jackson Jr. Rolling up to your top 6 starters. In that 6th starting position, out of Grandview, Missouri, the Clements horsepower under the hood of a Black Diamond chassis, the 16 of Austin Siebert. Moving on to your top 5, driving the Atnip Motorsports entry. Currently your Sunoco Rookie of the Year points leader, the 15L of Peyton Looney. Moving to the outside of row number 2. Driver came home in the 2nd spot last night, the MalvernBank.com entry, the 00 of Jesse Stovall. Rolling to the inside of row number 2. Out of Springfield, Missouri, the 115-time MLRA feature winner, the Andes Frozen Custard Car, the 75 of Terry Phillips. And your front row, making the haul all the way from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Driving the XR1 rocket chassis, let's hear it for the 74M of Mitch McGrath. And for the 2nd time this year, picking up tonight's DirtOnDirt.com pole position. He picked up $3,000 last night. 2 feature wins on the season. Let's hear it, fans, for Will the Thrill Vaught. Race fans, let's hear it one more time. Your entire 20-car starting field. 41 laps are going to go up on the scoreboard for your Lucas Oil MLRA late models. $5,000 on the line. If you were here, race fans, last night, we were treated to a whale of a feature event. Will Vaught able to capture that after some contact late in the race between the 25 of Chad Simpson and the 36 of Logan Martin. Both those drivers went pit side after that, handing the lead back over to early race leader Will Vaught, and he was able to go on and pick up the win over Jesse Stovall and Tony Jackson Jr., who were your top 3 podium finishers from a night ago. Don't forget, race fans, some of the other great folks that help us bring you the Lucas Oil MLRA include Protect the Harvest, working to preserve traditional American rights and freedoms. And that is Protect the Harvest, as well as our good friends at MAV TV and Lucas Oil Racing TV. A couple of great apps right there to keep you up on all the auto sports racing action from dirt track to asphalt. You name it, MAV TV is your all-in-one source for racing action.
Gotcha.
Drivers getting buckled in here. Momentarily, we will get the command to fire engines. Before we get things turned loose, race fans, keep those phones out. We're going to have an awesome 4-wide salute before we get tonight's feature action underway. And as you will notice at top of that 4-wide salute will be the missing man formation once again in honor of Jason Johnson. Driver the number 41 machine tragically lost his life a couple of weeks back. As the racetrack is being cleared, the crews will make their way to the infield. And we'll get tonight's 41-lap main event underway. As we said, rolling into tonight's racing action, Chad Simpson out of Mount Vernon, Iowa, your 2014 MLRA Series champion, looking for his second career title, sits atop the MLRA standings, 76 points ahead of Tony Jackson Jr. out of Lebanon, Missouri. In the Longhorn chassis, and rolling out your top three is the 1V of Will Vaught. So Vaught made up some valuable ground last night, and tonight he's going to have a great shot to pick up some more valuable points in that championship battle that is down to just 7 events after tonight's racing action before we wrap up the Lucas Oil MLRA season. Got some great racing action yet to go this season at the Lucas Oil Speedway, including next weekend with the Diamond Nationals. Also be in action in Kansas City, the Lakeside Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas, coming up later on in the month of July. Lee County Speedway up in Donaldson, Iowa. We've got a great makeup show coming up there. If you're up in the Iowa area, great facility up there in Donaldson, Iowa, in the southeast corner of the state for some great racing action. As that'll be part of our Labor Day weekend extravaganza, 3 nights of racing action, the Terry Phillips Memorial, coming up that Saturday night at the Lucas Oil Speedway.
Okay, Billy, whenever you're ready.
All right, race fans, on 3. You got to help me fire these hot rods off. On 3, I want a gentleman start your engines. 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, start your engines. Cars have come to life. Helmets are on. Belts are buckled. It is time to get down and dirty with your Lucas Oil MLRA late models. Rolling into tonight's action, race fans, we've got a great battle for your Sunoco Rookie of the Year standings. We talked about it all season long. And right now, it is a 1-point advantage for the 15 machine. The XR1 Rocket chassis up Peyton Looney out of Republic, Missouri. 1 point ahead of that 74 car on the outside front row. The Source Services Johnny Manhattan Steakhouse entry of Mitch McGrath out of Waukesha. McGrath picked up the Sunoco Rookie of the Race award last night. And he will look to pick up another point tonight and possibly tie up that Sunoco Rookie standings heading out of here tonight. As the leaders will roll their way down into turn number 1 here momentarily. Will Vaught, Mitch McGrath, Terry Phillips, Jesse Stovall, your top 4 starters out on the racetrack. Race fans, make sure you check out Lucas Oil MLRA on Facebook. Give us a like. All kinds of updates throughout the week and throughout the season on Lucas Oil MLRA, as well as Lucas Oil Racing on the internet. Check it out for our upcoming schedule, driver bios, lots of good information, as well as the upcoming schedule on the internet, as well as Lucas Oil Racing on Facebook. Keep up to date as Will Vaught, the driver out of Crane, Missouri, looking for his 3rd win of the season. 9-time feature winner on the MLRA circuit. 2 of those wins coming right here at the 1/3 mile speedway that you guys call the beautiful Lake Ozark Speedway.
Let's stop. 75 we're going with the inside lane.
All right, forming up 4 wide. Next time by, let's get up and make some noise, race fans, as we are about to go 4 wide. A little American salute. This next time by, as we bring the missing man formation on the pole in honor of the 41 of Jason Johnson.
001.
As we've said, second DirtOnDirt.com pole position of the year for Will Vaught. Picked up the win last night. He has also been successful on the 1/4 mile at the LaSalle Speedway. Back on May the 5th.
All right.
Don't forget fireworks coming up after tonight's racing action. And race fans, we'll ask you one more time tonight. Get on your feet. I want some noise. Salute these 20 drivers as they make their way by as we salute America and your Lucas Oil MLRA late models. Make some noise. Let them hear you in those cars as they come by this time. Wave to your favorite driver. They're going to wave back at you before they get ready to cut it loose for 40 laps here at the Lake Ozark Speedway.
doubled out here.
Will Vaught going to throw it from the pole position. Rolling off in the second spot, it's going to be Mitch McGrath. Terry Phillips, 115 MLRA wins to his credit, 4-time series champion. And your defending champion will roll off from the third starting spot alongside the 00 of Jesse Stovall.
You guys drag your feet from the middle to the back, and then we're going to
Peyton Looney had a runner-up finish last week at the Salina High Banks, and the 15 car will roll off from the third position. He had a frustrating night last season, but those guys earlier this afternoon said they think they've figured some things out. And Looney, hard charge last week, and will be looking for his first MLRA win as he will roll off in the fifth starting spot alongside the 16A of Austin Siebert out of Grandview, Missouri.
stay yellow here. Stay yellow.
Tony Jackson Jr., Kobe Vandenberg wrapping up row number 4. Back in row 5, you've got Jason Russell, a local ULMA driver right here at Lake Ozark Speedway. 4 wins on the season here at the Speedway. A couple over at the Lucas Oil Speedway as well. For the 2J machine will roll off in the 9th spot alongside Mount Vernon, Iowa's Chad Simpson in the 25 machine. All right, driver's going to put some heat into those Hoosier Racing tires before we turn things loose. All right, driver's going to form up down the back straightaway. Should get the 1-to-go signal this next time at the line for Vaught. 4 lead changes last night, race fans. An extra 10 laps, 11 laps tonight. All right, caution light going to go out. We will go green. Next time by for the $5,000 to win finale here from the Lake Ozark Speedway. 41 laps the distance. Sit tight, hold on tight. Grab those bleacher boards. You're going to need them. It's going to get exciting.
Here we go. I'm excited.
Will Vaught on the DirtOnDirt.com pole position alongside Mitch McGrath looking for his first ever MLRA feature win. Terry Phillips, the veteran, Stovall back in row 2, about to fire up turn number 4. A great start for Will Vaught. He will shoot to the early race lead down to the bottom of turn number 1. Vaught's going to bring the 74 machine with him down the back straightaway. Mitch McGrath, this time McGrath will tuck it to the inside as Terry Phillips going to drop a couple of spots back to the 5th position on lap number 1. It's going to be Will Vaught showing the way just where he left off last night. He will put that 1V down to the bottom side in front of McGrath, and now you've got Stovall working the top side cushion as he will have a great side-by-side battle with the 15 machine of Peyton Looney. Looney out of Republic, Missouri, down in the 4th spot, continues to dig on the bottom of Stovall as Terry Phillips going to round out your top 5 here as we are just 2 laps into tonight's feature event. And already look at Stovall working that top side cushion of turns number 3 and 4. One more time, he's going to push the cushion up with 38 laps remaining. Making some hay down the front straightaway is Jesse Stovall as he will continue to gain ground on the 74 car of McGrath. But out in front, it is all Will Vaught here early on tonight. Will Vaught in that Scott and Bailey powered racing entry. Works off the exit at this time. Back in that 4th spot. It's getting a little tighter this time is Peyton Looney. He's got some good momentum down to the inside. That top side may not be working quite yet for the 00 machine. Is Looney able to pull up alongside, but Stovall pulls it across his nose down the back straightaway. Jesse Stovall now will tuck down to the bottom side in the 3rd spot ahead of Looney. Terry Phillips now floating on the top side in the 75 car as he will continue to round out your top 5. Austin Siebert back in the 6th spot. Tony Jackson Jr. in 7th, and your current point leader, Chad Simpson in the 25, rounding out your top 8 as we are now 5 laps in tonight's feature event. Lap traffic just about a straightaway length away from your leader, Will Vaught, as we continue to go green as McGrath holding on to that runner of a spot. Now you've got the 00 machine of Stovall trying to slowly reel in the Wisconsin native in that second position. Peyton Looney continuing to hang on to fourth. Now you've got Austin Sieber, the 16 car out of Grandview, Missouri, working up to Terry Phillips. That's going to be a battle for your top 5 here momentarily, as he is also bringing the 56 car up Tony Jackson with him. Down to the inside, it's getting dicey as we work down the back straightaway. Car going around up in turn number 3 and 4. It's the 14 car of Reed Millard right in front of the race leaders. Millard right there on the back of the pack, going around right as your race leader, Will Vaught, entered turn number 3, bringing out tonight's first caution on lap number 8.
56, 15, 25, 2J, 36, 7, 93, 33, then 14R, 4W.
Will Vaught sits atop the standings. Will Vaught, best lap of the night. Lap number 1 turned at 15.807 seconds for your race leader. Only driver to this point under the 16-second barrier is Will Vaught.
Thank you.
As Cole Wells will pull up to the attention of the Lucas Oil MLRA crew. Looks like some left side body damage. You can see that left side driver's door completely buckled up, as he has obviously had some contact out there in the Midwest Sheet Metal sponsored number 7 out of Aurora, Missouri. A little pressure, a little weight on that left side door. Going to push that back down, make it a little bit easier for the driver of the 7 machine to be able to see, as that door was kind of jacked up right in his line of view right there.
All right, 74, make it obvious.
All right, Will Vaught at the point. Mitch McGrath will elect to start on the bottom side of row number 2, putting Jesse Stovall to the top side. Back in the 4th spot, you're going to have Peyton Looney. Terry Phillips to the outside, the Don Bab Motorsports number 75, Austin Siebert. Good run early on for the driver of the 16 car. Sitting in the 6th spot. 7th right now belongs to the 56 of Tony Jackson Jr. As 8th position right now belongs to the 15 machine of Vandenberg, alongside the 25 of Simpson, rounding out your top 9 out on the speedway. Simpson donning that bright neon Midwest Sheet Metal Spoiler Challenge spoiler. So he has been atop the MLRA point standings now for 9 consecutive weeks. Is the driver of the Levy Trucking 25, Chad Simpson. As we turn it back over to Will Vaught, he's going to set the pace off 3 and 4. Vaught will hit the loud pedal one more time. We are green flag racing here at Lake Ozark Speedway. Down to the inside, Vaught will go. Jesse Stovall going to pound that topside cushion, try and make something happen in a hurry, and he's able to run into the 2nd spot. It looks like he may be bringing Terry Phillips with him. Great restart right there for Stovall. Fires up to the 2nd spot. McGrath back to 3rd, but here comes Terry Phillips on the top side. Everybody trying to chase down Will Vaught. Vaught shows the way down the back straightaway. A little bit of patience this time as Stovall will tuck in line and also go to the bottom side of the speedway. McGrath that time will lose the front end handle of the race car. He will slip up. Just a little bit of slight contact between himself and Terry Phillips. Phillips, the veteran driver right there, backed out of a nasty situation. Both drivers able to keep it straight as they are still side by side and door to door down into turn number 3. McGrath this time goes the short way around this 1/3 mile speedway. Phillips using that momentum line on the top side, and a great side-by-side battle for 3rd and 4th. Back up front, it is Will Vaught continuing to show the way, looking to go back-to-back here at Lake Ozark Speedway. Slowly starting to stretch out the advantage once again over Jesse Stovall. That advantage now up to 1.25 seconds between your top 2 on the racetrack. Mitch McGrath still hanging right there in the 3rd spot as he gains a little bit of ground on the bottom side though. Jesse Stovall. Stovall's car going to push up just a little bit off the exit of turn number 4 as the caution will come out once again for a pair of cars over in turn number 2. The 14 again of Reed Millard and the 43 of Jeremy Grady out of Story City, Iowa. Grady, last night's 4th place finisher, off to a rough start here early on lap number 12.
Then the 15-7, 93-2, 14R, 4W, 33.
Well, race fans, how about that restart by Jesse Stovall? Stovall taking advantage of that top side. Mitch McGrath opened up the door and gave the 00 machine that top side on the restart. Really took advantage right there, able to slowly work his way around that top side of the speedway and get around the 74 of McGrath. Now it will be the call of the 00 machine of Stovall, whether he wants to elect the bottom or the top. You got to think he's probably going to take that top side and put that 74 of McGrath once again down to the bottom, which actually looks like it'll work out for both parties, as the 74 of McGrath liking that short way around, and Stovall liking to work that cushion. He worked the cushion last weekend at the Salina High Banks. Stovall came home the Saturday night feature winner last weekend. Picked up his second win of the season, both of those coming in the state of Oklahoma. On the half-mile speedway earlier this season in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Picked up the win at the High Banks in Salina, Oklahoma last Saturday night. Your 2016 series champion, a very critical restart right here. You got to be patient if you're Will the Thrill Vaught working the bottom side. Got a very fast race car, but you know what's coming on the top side.
I'm sorry, Eric. They doubled before I would. I wasn't going to call it back out.
Still back in the 4th spot is Terry Phillips. He had a great run on that top side on the restart as well. Peyton Looney back there in the 5th spot. Your Sunoco Rookie of the Year leader. A couple of Sunoco rookies inside your top 5 in McGrath and Looney. But up front, it is Will Vaught looking for win number 3 on the season. He'll fire to the bottom side, grab a little bit of that black dirt moisture off the exit of 4, and back to the green we go with Will Vaught down into turn number 1. Vaught going to work his way off the bottom side. He'll let it float up this time, grab a little bit of traction as Jesse Stovall. Not as good of a start that time for the 00 machine. Now he's got his hands full with Mitch McGrath, who's at a much better restart, able to run side by side with Stovall. That battle right there is exactly what your race leader, Mitch McGrath, wanted to see, is battling side by side for 2nd and 3rd. And how about 4th and 5th? But don't look now. Here comes the 25 of Chad Simpson. Got some dust stirred up down in turns number 1 and 2 from Jason Russell, who went through the infield that last time by. We'll see if it dissipates this next time by as drivers work their way back through turns number 3 and 4. Once again, Will Vaught stretching it out awfully soon here on this run with 15 laps in the books over Jesse Stovall, who will now settle into 2nd. And Stovall this time will actually work down to the bottom side here of the Lake Ozark Speedway over McGrath, who slips back to that 3rd podium position. Terry Phillips up to the 4th spot in the 75 car, and rounding out your top 5, as we said, that 25 machine of Chad Simpson. Simpson rolled off in the 10th starting position, already up inside the top 5, and he is looking for the top 4. Simpson will go down into turn number 3 side by side as Terry Phillips works the top side cushion the long way around one more time, at this time at the line. It is going to be Chad Simpson, who will now set his sights on the 74 car of Mitch McGrath. Great battle throughout the field. About a straightaway away from lap traffic once again is Will the Thrill Vaught, but Vaught has stretched things out to his biggest advantage of the night, just over 2.2 second advantage for Vaught. Vaught, who has led from the DirtOnDirt.com poll the entire 18 and let's call it 19 laps this time at the line. 41 is the distance for $5,000. Jesse Stovall right now working a little bit lower line on the speedway. McGrath about as low as he can go in the 74, who has now got some serious company in the Levy Trucking 25 of Chad Simpson. Chad Simpson able to get his car to turn just like he did last night on the very bottom side of this Lake Ozark Speedway. Simpson able to put that left front tire up on the berm and work off the exit, grab a little bit of traction. We'll see if he can make a move this time down into turn number 3, but we are almost a half a straightaway this time away from the back of the field. And it's about to get dicey for your race leader, Will Vaught, as he quickly approaches the 14 of Reed Millard and the 5 of Mark Bergtorf. Cars running high and low up in front of your race leaders. Stovall hanging on to a 2nd spot as Simpson continues to work over the rear deck lid of the 74 machine of Mitch McGrath, not able to make the move, but Simpson got him a very fast race car as Chad Simpson just turned his fastest lap of the race. As Chad Simpson, the fastest car on the racetrack this last time by, as your race leader, Will Vaught, begins to weave his way through lap traffic as he slips to the outside of Reed Millard. Those two are going to be side by side and toe-to-toe down the back straightaway, as this may allow Jesse Stovall to start to reel in your race leader. Vaught this time at the line, a 2.56 second advantage that time. At the line, Jesse Stovall able to shave off about a 1/10 of a second as your race leader working his way through the lap traffic. McGrath hanging on to the 3rd spot. Back in the 4th spot continues to be Chad Simpson with Terry Phillips and Peyton Looney rounding out your top 6 as we quickly approach just 16 laps to go in tonight's $5,000 to win a main event. Race leader clear down into turn number 3, and that's going to be Will Vaught, almost half a straightaway length advantage over the 00 machine of Stovall, who will now have lap traffic to deal with himself as one more time Will Vaught will slip to the outside of Vandenberg in the 15 car off the exit of 2. He will make the pass look easy. He's now got a couple of buffer cars between himself and Jesse Stovall. That time Vaught going to have to chase the race car up the speedway. Looks like a good corner that time for Stovall. May have been able to make up just a little bit of ground as Jesse Stovall going to go back to the top side, going to start pounding that cushion once again, as we're about to put 28 laps in the books for Will Vaught. A lot of heavy lap traffic in front of your race leader. Vaught gets around the 5 machine of Bergdorf, as now Stovall still got a couple of buffer cars between himself and the race leader as it is starting to stretch out, but heavy lap traffic right in front of the 1V of Vaught, who is looking to go back-to-back here with tonight's Lucas Oil MLRA and sweep the $8,000 weekend here at the Lake Ozark Speedway. Chad Simpson now will shoot to the outside and try and make something happen to find a way around that 74 car of Mitch McGrath. McGrath down to the bottom side. Now he's got Terry Phillips on his back bumper, but a lap car in front may seal the deal for the 25 of Simpson. Simpson not able to make it happen, but he quickly points it to the left to look to the inside of McGrath, but Mitch McGrath able to hold the 25 of Simpson at bay. Great corner right there by Mitch McGrath as Chad Simpson and Terry Phillips are doing everything they can to find a way to get up inside of that top 3 podium positions for tonight's feature event. Will Vaught, your race leader, now enters turn number 3. About 5 cars between himself and a little bit of clear daylight. That first car is going to be the 43 of Jeremy Grady. How about the moves right there by Will Vaught? He's got to do a lot of shaking as he's not able to get around Grady off the exit of turn number 2. He will chase that 43 down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Down to the inside this time. Vaught's going to point it off the bottom of the racetrack. Will try and make the move down to the inside. Jeremy Grady going to race him hard. He will pin him down to the inside of turn number 1. Not giving any mercy to your race leader, Will Vaught, as Vaught has that nice cushion down the back straightaway, but that deficit is quickly shrinking as Jesse Stovall is catching up to the back bumper of the 1V of Vaught, who is finally able to get around that 43 car of Stovall. Excuse me, that 43 of Grady. Now he's got the 14 machine to deal with down into turn number 3. That's going to be Jeff Roth one more time. Your race leader will point it to the inside as quickly coming to the front is Jesse Stovall. Race fans, Jesse Stovall has just taken it down to 2.1 seconds. Time is running out, just 6 laps remaining, but Will Vaught out in front, about 3 more lap cars between himself and a $5,000 payday as Stovall continuing to work the bottom side of this 3rd mile racetrack is now Simpson able to get around the outside of the 74 car McGrath, putting Terry Phillips in that 5th and final top 5 position on the speedway. 36 laps in the books for Will Vaught off the exit of 4. 37 that time, as he will be just 4 laps away from going back-to-back here in the Lucas Oil MLRA, picking up some valuable championship points over Jesse Stovall. Chad Simpson continues to have what looks to be possibly the fastest car on the speedway, but marred back in traffic in that 3rd position as he is quickly making up ground on the 00 of Stovall for that runner-up position, as he will be right there with him as we quickly approach 2 laps to go this next time of the line. Will Vaught looks to have 1 more lap car in the way, and that's going to be the 21 of Joey Stark out of Lake Ozark, Missouri. Vaught down to the inside. Side by side with Stark. Stark will race him down into turn number 3. Is back in the 2nd spot. Now you've got Chad Simpson making a move as the white flag comes down. Chad Simpson to go around in turn number 3. Chad Simpson goes around in turn number 3. He will get it fired. He will get it fired, race fans, but not before the caution comes out for a dust storm in turn number 3. Oh, boy. Chad Simpson going for position on the inside of Jesse Stovall. Looks like he hooked that left firm down to the inside of turn number 3, puts him in the spin cycle. He did everything he could to get that car straightened out. But it does appear the caution has come out for the 25 of Chad Simpson, Heartbreak City, 2 nights in a row. Will Vaught out in front, but all of a sudden, that 2.5 second advantage has disappeared, race fans, and Jesse Stovall going to be right there on the back bumper.
Guys, come on. I need 1B00, 74, 75. They're not happy with each other. 93.
A little bit of contact off the exit at turn number 4. Chad Simpson showing his displeasure with the 00 machine.
So here's my line.
Of Jesse Stovall. Those two were looked to be racing hard down into turn number 3. Ran out of racetrack. And unfortunately, for the second time in consecutive nights, the 25 of Chad Simpson.
Then I need the 1656. 56. There you go.
All right, race control is going to put the 25 machine.
Let's go, 16.
All right, looks to be the 25 machine going to exit the speedway. That is your series point leader, Chad Simpson. Chad Simpson going to exit the racetrack here in consecutive nights.
So stay low on the racetrack.
Caution going to remain on the racetrack for some debris out in turn number 3 before we can go back to the green.
Racetrack, we're going green. We ain't got time for about to look. We got 1 lap. Huh?
1 lap to decide it.
All right.
Race fans, a green-white checkered right here at the same time.
I need the 16,
Okay, we're going to do green and white together, Billy.
56.
Okay. We go back, green race fans. We are also going to see the white. It's going to be a 1-lap dash for $5,000. How many of you race fans came out here tonight thinking you would see a race come down to literally 1/3 of a mile? You're about to see it right now. Jesse Stovall going to pull up to the attention of the Lucas Oil MLRA safety crew over in turn number 3 and 4 before we go back to the green. As Will Vaught looking to cap a potential $8,000 weekend. Last night's $3,000 feature winner. He will try and do it again tonight as $5,000 on the line for just 1 measly lap. Race fans, how many of you folks think that it is time to see the driver of the 1V go back-to-back in tonight's the night for Will Vaught?
Chad spun out but kept going. He threw it just because.
All right, race fans, how many of you folks out there came out here tonight to see the 00 machine of Jesse Stovall take home the big payday?
Single file restart. Guys.
Single file restart. Mitch McGrath, the rookie out of Wisconsin, back in the 3rd spot, looking to duplicate his best run of the season at the Davenport Speedway. Terry Phillips in the 4th spot, and how about Mason Oberkramer? Oberkramer rolled off in the 11th starting position, finds himself up inside the top 5 of the 93 car. Caution light is out. Hang on tight.
You've done the right thing.
Race fans, you are about to see a green and white at the same time off the exit of 4. Looks to be a good start for the 1V of Will Vaught. He will fire off and immediately go down to the bottom side. It's been his haymaker all night long as Jesse Stovall one more time will try and stretch the rubber band tight. He's got it down the back straightaway. Race fans, this is it. Coming off the exit at turn number 3 and 4. Stovall to the bottom, but it's going to be too late as Will Vaught's going to take the win tonight over Jesse Stovall. Terry Phillips will rally for a 3rd spot over Mason Oberkramer in the 4th spot, and Mitch McGrath will hang on to your top 5 of race fans. Put it together, going back to back. The driver of the 1V. How about it for Will Vaught, tonight's feature winner? Jesse Stovall will come home in the 2nd spot, and the 75 of Terry Phillips going to round out your top 3. We will quickly head down to the Andy's Frozen Custard Victory Lane and catch up with your race winners before we get tonight's fireworks underway here at Lake Ozark Speedway.
Hey everybody, we'd like to really thank you all for coming out this evening to Lake Ozark Speedway. One of the things that I want to remind you about is that, we're going to have a fireworks display here in just a second, but September 1st and 2nd, it's going to be the Jason Johnson 360 Nationals along with the 360 Sprint cars. We're going to have the War Sprint cars, the non-wing cars, and also the Power Eye National Sprint Series is going to be, our Midget Series is going to be here. We expect a waylay of a car count. It will be a super night, 2 nights of racing, folks. So we hope to see you all. Make sure that you do drive safely home and enjoy the evening. And thank you very much again for spending your hard-earned cash with us all here at Lake Ozark Speedway. Dougie, it's all over but the crying, buddy.
Well, going to get a word with our feature winner here in just a moment, and we will invite you pit side if you got a little time to hang out. Well, the Trimble gang always putting on a great fireworks show here at the Speedway. They're lighting it up over turn number 2. Well, race fans, once again, hang loose just a moment. About to get a word with our feature winner down here in these Frozen Custard Victory Lane.
Guys, thank you all. Great show.
Well, apologize and bear with us just a moment. Have a little trouble get the old microphone fired up down in the victory lane. So bear with us just a few moments. Well, Will Vaughn's got his crew on top of the car. Put those hands together. Will Vaughn, 2-time feature winner with us this weekend. Well, you can certainly bet Vaughn will be petitioning to have several more MLRA events put on the schedule here at the Lake Ozark Speedway. This is his own personal playground. Okay, down in Victory Lane, Billy Rockhead is down here on the four-wheeler trying to assist you with the cordless microphone. Once again, Billy Rock, Ed Franco is waiting on you down here in the golf cart, try to help you with that microphone situation. Well, Tim, he's at the far end of Victory Lane. Once again, Billy Rock, if you can hear us, Ed down there to try to help you out with the microphone.
I can hear you, but we can't hear it all down here. Testing, 1, 2. Yeah, we're good now. Thank you.
Here you do different. And nothing, it must have hit a button. Or the thing is overheating. Fireworks in the sky. You got to work it now if you want to call. I think it's working. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Test 1, 2. All right, race fans, we're going to catch up with tonight's winner. Last night's winner, he's a back-to-back winner, Will Vaught. Let's hear it for your feature winner, Will Vaught. Will, I tell you what, you said you'd really like to do this, but I tell you what, it's a lot harder to do it than to say it is. But congratulations, back-to-back at Lake Ozark.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. I mean, it's to beat this kind of cars here. I mean, we caught on to something this week on this race car and we tuned on it from last night. And I know the track's a little different, but it felt a lot better. So we'll just keep digging and keep going forward.
Heat race was real critical of you for tonight. You came off in the 5th starting spot. You got the heat race win. That put you on the DirtOnDirt.com poll. How important was that to coming home the winner tonight?
You know, the track wasn't as wide as it was last night, but it was still, I passed cars there in the middle and stuff, but yeah, it was, it'd been a lot harder to pass from third row or so to get the win than it would be on the first pole. So anytime you start up front and these cars are so weak anymore, it's a big advantage.
Tell you what, coming off turn 4, looked like you were coming to take the white flag, and all of a sudden the caution flag comes out. Chad Simpson going around over in turn number 3 with just a lap to go. Set us up tonight, Will, for a green-white checker finish, a one-lap dash. What's going through your mind on that restart, knowing that Jesse Stovall, Terry Phillips are back there?
Oh, yeah, it's I just thought, well, my luck was all over last night. So, but you know, we still had a good car there. They had some oil or something on the racetrack. I was a little bit worried about that, but I know everybody wanted to get the race over. I think last night it took too long to get that race in, and I know we beat it tonight. So I hope the fans had a good night. I got to thank everybody here on my race car here. Scott Bailey built a heck of a motor. Right Oil Company. Midwest Sheet Metal, GW Performance, Integra Shocks, and everybody I got. I mean, I couldn't do it without all the help. And the biggest thing is Eric works all week long on this race car, and he dies about this thing. I mean, he works hard about it. So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here either. I got to work during the weeks, but very fortunate to be here, and congratulations to everybody else.
Race fans, win number 3 on the season for Will Vaught as he picks up an impressive win here in the Lucasville MLRA in the Andy's Frozen Custer Victory Lane.
Come on, guys.